but never lost touch with his roots. So he did pro bono work for a Black church in the inner city in Hartford, where he's from. He helped people a lot, and he was somewhat active in some of the civil rights, early civil rights stuff. So good guy, and he would go on weekends for what he called errands, and he rarely seemed to buy anything or get anything done. And then I later, upon reflection, realized he was just visiting the old neighborhood and his roots a lot of that time. And so he, once when I was 8 or 10, went with him. He introduced me to someone he knew, a friend, ran, I think, a junk shop in my memory, and had a nice conversation. I was introduced. As we walked away, my dad mentioned, my friend was in prison. And I asked for what? And he said for murder, a crime of passion. But then he said something that has stuck with me. Here we are half a century later. He said he's done his time. And that's a fundamental lesson that I took away from having the good fortune to be his son. People make mistakes, but once they've done their time, they deserve integration into society.
If your father were here right now and having read your book and having looked at the situation, folks being denied these fair chances, second chances, what would he say?
I think he'd be pretty pleased. He was someone who believed in giving back to the community, and he would understand that part of the motivation is to leave the world a better place than we find it. And this is my little way of making a contribution.